What's up all you cool snakes and neonates? How's it going? I hope you're all keeping well. This is Tigger. Tigger stinks. That's right, Tigger, our false water cobra. Probably the stinkiest animal in this room. Closely followed by the dummerils boas, but our two false water cobras are very stinky. Anyone who keeps them will tell you they poop regularly. They poop constantly. Within a day or two of eating, it's out the other end. It's gone. It's disgusting. You're a disgusting animal. I only feed my guys rats. And some people have suggested on Facebook pages, like, oh, you could feed them fish. I have seen what comes out the other end when they eat rats. I do not want to see what comes out the other end when this guy eats a fish. No, thank you. You can smell it when you walk in this room. You know these guys have had a poop. Now, when it comes to changing bedding and things like that, most of the animals, majority of the animals even, I'll spot clean them as soon as I see a poop, take a poop out, and I'll top up the bedding throughout the year, but I will very rarely do full bedding changes, apart from with two species of snake that we have here in the reptile rich room. One being the false water cobras, and the other being the dummerils boas. That's right, these guys are stinky. So, because they poop and pee so much, and because it smells so badly, I do have to do quite regular bedding changes on these guys. The female doesn't seem as bad as the male, but for some strange reason, Tigger here just seems to be a bit smellier than his girlfriend. Don't you? You're a stinky boy. Yes, you're a stinky little man. So Tigger here is a very stinky boy. So today we're going to change out some beddings, we're going to top up some beddings, and we're going to hopefully not die of asphyxiation in the process from the fumes of poops. That's right. An interesting fact, or I find it interesting, don't know if you guys find it interesting, but an interesting fact is snakes don't actually technically have a smell. You can see he shed his skin there. That is the reason they don't have a smell. The reason we have a smell is because we constantly have microscopic skin particles that are always falling from us. That's how dogs can track us and things like that. It's through our scent falling off of us and things like that. These guys obviously shed their skin in one go. So technically, you pick a snake up, you sniff it, it doesn't really smell of anything unless it's wandered through its poops, and then you're going to want to wash your nose. But they don't really have a smell that comes off them. The only smell you're going to get is what comes out the other end, which is why you need to keep your animals regularly cleaned so they don't get stinky. Isn't that right, Mr. Roland? You're a handsome boy. Got a full tummy at this point. And a couple of these vivs here also are struggling for ventilation. Roland, the dummerils boa, is one of them. It does have ventilation, but I don't think it's enough for such a stinky snake, so we're going to stick some vents in there. Gimmie, like a lot of other retics I have noticed, especially of the morph type, has been having a problem with the bedding getting stuck in his mouth, just in his top lip there. So I'm going to change him out from cocoa bedding to the cocoa bark with the little fine cocoa bark, so it doesn't get stuck in his mouth, or hopefully it won't get stuck in his mouth. So let's get into it. First thing we're going to do here, guys, we're going to prep the bedding. We're going to get all of this compacted brick out of here. That's going to be a mammoth task. And we're going to soak a brick of cocoa coir, or however you say it, cocoa bedding. So we're going to soak that brick, get that nice and moist and expanded, and we're going to get this out here. So Gimmie and Roland are only going to get pure chips, whereas Tigger is going to get a mixture, and then whatever's left will get topped up into Mordecai's enclosure, because he could use a top up as well in the bedding too. And anyone else that needs it, they can all get mixes. But the dummerils I like to just give pure cocoa bark, because they like to burrow and things in it. So if you put that in it, it's not very good for them burrowing. But if it's just pure this stuff, it's fine for them to get in amongst and sort of burrow into and dig into and things like that. So yeah, each animal's slightly different. So we're just going to sort these two first. Maybe mention a wee tip for you guys. If you are soaking your cocoa bricks, use warm water. It is like 10 times faster. It's ridiculous. So yeah, soak them in warm water and watch how quickly they expand.
A few moments later.
Why did I just hoover in here? That was very silly. Alright, so we're going to pull him out now. He is in the early stages of shed. We had to take a wee break from that video. I ran out of time, I had stuff to do. So this is actually next day. So he's actually properly in shed today. He wasn't properly in shed yesterday. But he's starting to go blue. Doesn't like to come out at the best of times, does our Roland. But it's stinky in there and I've started putting the bedding together. So we're just going to pop him out of here. Hello, big boy. Hello, my big man. And there is Roland, the handsome dummerils boy. We'll just pop him on the floor. Normally I put them in holding receptacles, but we're going to pop him on the floor. Aren't we, my beautiful big man? Because their scientific name, Acrantophis, translates to lazy snake. So I popped him down there. He won't move around much, which will give me time to do the bedding. So I've got all the bedding out now. I'm going to give it a scoosh down and a disinfect. Where's Roland? Still there. He hasn't moved that whole time. But as soon as I start speaking, he starts moving. So yeah, I'm going to disinfect this and then I'm going to put a vent in that corner there because this is his hot end. There are vents all along the bottom and the top of this metal railing bit here, but they aren't great for likes of the dummerils boas. It stinks in there of pee and ammonia. It's nasty, really nasty in there. You can see all the peas on the floor that he does and things like that constantly. Even though I clean them out, he has had a fresh pee in there. And he went over on my toes. Son, you made me poop myself. Not normally that active, probably because he's in shed. But yeah, so there's all those stains in there. He recently peed. He must have peed in there last night because I put my hand in it and yeah, it's nasty. It was all soft and yummy in a nice fresh urate. So yeah, I'm going to put a vent there because that's his hot end and that's his cold end. So of course heat rises and it'll come down that side, and then of course the vent at the bottom there will pull any cold air back out as well. And then of course you'll have the air coming in the front that will hopefully circulate too. So I'm just going to pop one air vent in there, one extra air vent, and see how he gets on, or see if that helps a little bit with the pee-pee smells. So yeah, let's get on to it. Need to refill that. So it's all disinfected, cleaned out now, and the vent's put in. So let's put this bale of bark in. I don't know why I hoovered yesterday, because it's an absolute mess in here. This will look dry and dusty at first, but I'm going to spray it down and put some water through it and things like that. This is dusty. Like I mentioned, I like his bedding nice and deep and loose because he likes to burrow in it, dig himself down. Woods and woods of lovely bedding. Right, so that's a nice deep layer of substrate now. Give it a good soaking, try to get rid of all that dust. And we'll get the lazy little man back in. Right, that's ready to rock and roll. Smells lovely and fresh. There's no pee-pee smell in there anymore. So let's get the big guy out of his lazy corner and stick him back into his bed where he can shed out on his own and in peace. Come on, big man. Here he goes. Hello, my beautiful big boy. Hello. Would you like to go into your nice clean home? Oh, he is in no mood for socializing today. Whew. There he goes. Into his nice clean enclosure. Where you going, big lad? And there he goes into his enclosure. Happy boy, clean smells. He's going into shed. So he'll shed out and be nice and clean in a nice and clean enclosure. Always an awesome feeling. Look at the mess in here. That's crazy. I need to tidy up. Anyway, as you can see, the cocoa brick is now beautifully soaked in and absolutely perfect. So we're going to stick the bedding we didn't use from Rowland into there. Whew, that's just stinky. That is dusty, boys and girls. And we're going to mix it all up into a nice looking bedding to mix with the rest of the animals. And then boom, put some of that in with Mordecai already, because that's a better mix for Mordecai, more of the cocoa bedding than the bark. And then I'm just going to put the rest of that brick now in this for the two false water cobras, because they don't really need humidity that much. Hello, my handsome boy. Hello, diggers. Oh, this is, oh, you got a fright from your own tail. This is Tigger. I don't know what is wrong with the falsies just now. I don't know if it's because we're changing to the winter solstice now. The weather has cooled right down here in Scotland. Our summer has gone. We're definitely coming into autumn now. So I don't know if with the change in the air, these the colubrids are starting to get ready for breeding, because Shelby has just gone full defensiveness. She is going crazy in that enclosure, hooting like crazy, tail whipping, just being an absolute crazy case. And Tigger here is being a bit not hissy, but a bit vocal. He's being very racy and running around, or wandering around. He doesn't run, doesn't have legs, but wandering around very quickly, racing around. I'm assuming, you know, maybe looking for somewhere to hibernate, or they maybe have one last dash looking for food before they go into brumation. I'm not sure what the full reasoning behind that is, but they're both showing definite behavioural changes, which is quite good, because we were hoping to put them together come, I think it's the springtime. I think you put false water cobras together. I need to double check, but yeah, we're hoping to put them together end of this year, beginning of next year. So the fact that their behaviours are changing and things is quite a good sign, isn't it, my beautiful man? Usually it is. So he is the complete opposite of Roland. He won't sit still. He will escape. He'll disappear. So we're going to pop him in a holding receptacle just now while we change over his bedding, because otherwise he will be gone and we'll never see our Tigger again. And we love our Tigger. We want to see him every day, don't we? Yes. So let's pop him in a box and we can get his bedding changed over. Or not. Oh, caught him. That was sketchy. I don't know if the camera caught that or not, but he was straight up and out the other side and gone. So yeah, let's get this bedding into his enclosure. And there you go, some wonderful new fresh bedding for Tigger. Awesome. No more stinkies. And then look at that, that's about a week or so on this substrate. And as you can see, not a piece of bedding in that little mouthy. So very good. So this bed, oh, there's a poop over there for Dad to clean up. So this bedding is doing wonders for our gorgeous Gimmie. So that's Gimmie got whole new fresh bedding. Roland's got a whole new fresh bedding and a new vent in there to try and help circulate that air and make it a bit nicer for him in there. And Mordecai and Shelby have had a bedding top up as well, because they just get sort of spot cleaned. Shelby's not as stinky as Tigger for some strange reason. I don't know if it's a male thing, because Roland is also more stinky than his girlfriend Lilith as well, the dummerils boys. So there's maybe something with males being a bit stinkier. And of course, the rest of them just get spot cleaned and top ups and stuff like that as and when. And they'll get new bedding when I think that they need the new bedding when it starts to look a bit dull, kind of thing. They also get their bedding re-moisturised regularly. I am going to have to buy some sphagnum moss and start redistributing sphagnum moss to help hold in humidity a bit better in some of these enclosures, but that's going to be a future investment. It's kind of boring, you guys don't want to see that, but some of these beddings are going to have sphagnum moss added into them as well. I was going to use an animal for this outro. Unfortunately, half of them are either in shed, have just been fed, or are just really not in the mood to come out. I tried to pull Gimmie out, he's wrapped tight around his branch and he is not letting go of that at all. I'm going to change that branch out because he's actually turned really food aggressive, as you can see here. Anything that goes near his house, it's not defensive, he's not scared, he's not hissing, everything is just taken as food. I'm not going to put the pictures up because I don't show bites on this channel, but he actually has got me a couple of times recently. He just goes into feeding mode, sees my fingers or whatever. You can just see the change in his body language and his tongue flicks, boom. So it's not a defensiveness, it's a feeding mode. So I'm currently working a lot with Gimmie, trying to sort of reset his training, try and tap train him, trying to handle him more and feed him less. And that branch there is not helping because he wraps himself around it, and then I take 15 minutes trying to unwind him from this branch, which stresses him out, stresses me out, and it's not great for either of us when both of us are trying to build up our bond together kind of thing, when he's got to learn to trust me and I've got to learn to trust him again after he keeps biting me because I've got to watch him now. So yeah, I'm really having to work with Gimmie, and I think I'm going to take out that branch and I'm just going to put in a straight branch in there, enough for him to climb on if he wants to sit on, because he is retics, especially your smaller island retics, are largely arboreal, to my understanding anyway. So I do like to have him things to climb in there, or if he gets a lot bigger, there is a 6-foot arboreal viv that I have that he'll probably live the rest of his life in. So I do plan on keeping him pretty arboreal throughout his life anyway. So I do like to give him stuff to climb on, but that branch is just, there's too many branches on it and nooks and crannies, and he wedges his body down the back of it, between the back of the viv and the branch, and once he gets in there he just puffs himself up and you just can't get out. It stresses him out, it stresses me out. So that's going to get changed in the future, and I'm going to give him an extra vent, but I'm not going to do that in this video. I'm not going to bore you guys with that, but the change of bedding that I did a week or two ago in his enclosure seems to have been a success. As I mentioned earlier in the video, he gets all the bedding stuck in his top mouth. Since I've changed that, now there seems to be no to very little bedding stuck in that top mouth. He was burying last night and he has got like 1 or 2 spots, but it's not like a full mouth packed, or packed his mouth, the front of his mouth there, like it had before. So the bedding change in him seems to have been a success as well. Always maintenance going on in the reptile rich household, always bedding's being changed, enclosures being upgraded or edited or changed around to keep the animals enriched. If you guys want to help me with all that kind of stuff, you guys want to help me keep doing these videos, keep keeping these animals healthy and happy and entertained, you can donate to the channel. There is a link in the description below to a PayPal donation. You can donate, just a one-off donation through PayPal, and make a contribution to the beddings, the lightings, the feedings. It's expensive feeding these animals. All that kind of stuff, guys, you can make a donation. If you want, you can even have a shout out in the video. And in future, I'm thinking of adding sponsorships to the animals. Because I've heard a lot of people say they've got favourite animals in comments, and people that talk about them even through the business and things like that. So we might, let me know in the comments below, jump down below, would you sponsor an animal and have your name sort of a sticker or written on the glass or something like that, and have you sponsoring that animal? You can get sort of regular updates over Facebook or something like that of that animal and how that animal's doing. I think that would be a pretty cool idea. Anyway, hit me up in the comments below, let me know if you guys would be interested in sponsoring one of these awesome and amazing animals here today. So as always, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. You can subscribe through my ugly mug right there. You can watch a playlist right there, or there'll be a random video selected for you right there. Don't forget to like and comment on the video. Take it easy, guys. Peace.
I'm done. I'm done.